Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we are going to pot a Vanda orchid. This is my newest Vanda. I showed it to you in my previous video. It's an almost black Vanda. It's not black, very, very dark. And today we shall pot it up. As you know, my Vandas are currently potted and they're doing great. We're going to talk a little bit about why they can work potted and how to maximize chances of a Vanda adapting to being potted a little later in the video. Now though, let's tend for this Vanda. I've already prepared my pot, but I will talk you through it. So first things first, with any Vanda, the most important thing is for the roots to be wet and flexible. Vandas are known to have very large roots. They're also thick, and if they're dry, they can snap very easy. But if they're properly soaked and wet, things will get a lot easier. My Vanda is already soaked, but I'll just water the roots once again for a good measure, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the pot first and the medium that I will be using. Alright, so the pot that I will be using is an opaque pot measuring 18 centimeters in diameter or 7 inch. Typically, we would pot orchids in transparent pots because this helps us see how the roots are doing, and especially for Vandas, it is kind of important to see if the roots are adapting, but I already have many Vandas in transparent pots and they give me an idea of what's happening in a opaque pot as well. This Vanda is pretty large and finding transparent pots of this size is very difficult. So I'll go ahead and use an opaque pot. If you ever want to attempt potting up your Vanda and you don't know how it will go, maybe try to choose a smaller Vanda that you can pot in a transparent pot. That's a little side note. I already have experience with the Vandas and I already have Vandas in transparent pots, so I'm pretty comfortable with an opaque pot. I drilled some drainage holes. They are obligatory with any orchid pot if you want to run the setup in this particular way. And also I added some extra ventilation holes on the sides, very typical again for orchid pots. The medium that I will use is a mixture between sphagnum moss and bark chips. It is the same medium that I use for all of my orchids. I will be careful a little bit with the ratio, but again, I do have quite a lot of experience with these two products, so I know how they behave. The moss will give me the water retention aspect, while the bark will make sure that I have air pockets throughout, which will allow my Vanda roots to breathe. With Vandas, it is rather important to make sure that the roots are super ventilated as possible. Because most of the times you will purchase a Vanda bare rooted, especially from the flower shop. So if you want to transition it to a potted situation, you need to make the transition a little bit easier on the existing roots and offer a lot of air. Bark is the type of medium which offers a lot of variation because it is chunky. It's also not very water retentive. Similar media to bark are charcoal and even leca, but leca has some chemical properties sometimes which I don't particularly enjoy. That's a different story. Basically, with the medium, I pretty much developed 3 rules which it needs to follow in order to be adequate for orchids. 1, it needs to allow you to offer water to your orchid. If you cannot water the orchid or water cannot reach the roots, then we have a problem, obviously. And of course, if you cannot properly water, you cannot properly offer nutrients either. So that was rule number 1. Rule number 2, the medium needs to permit aeration to the root system. Most orchids that we can grow are epiphytic and they require more air than traditional potted plants. So whatever medium we choose and set up, we need to make sure there is air at the same time with water. And third rule, the medium we choose needs to be safe and friendly to the roots from a physical and chemical point of view. I'll elaborate a little bit. From the physical point of view, well, obviously, it should not be super abrasive, super spiky so that it damages the roots. And chemically, it should not leach substances that affect roots, nor should it change the chemistry of the water so much so that the roots will not have a good time. So if the media and setup that you are going to use with your orchid respects these 3 rules, the sky is the limit. You can choose whatever setup works better for you depending on environment, possibilities, your availability, spare time, and so on and so forth. You can grow Vandas in a pot, bare rooted, mounted, on trees, on terracotta pots, in vases, attached to walls even if you so desire. As long as these 3 rules are maintained and respected, everything should theoretically be okay. All that's left is for you to actually be okay and comfortable with the setup you choose. Next up, I'm going to cut away all of the dead or unhealthy roots on my orchid. Now that the roots are soaked, I can clearly see which roots I need to remove. Roots such as these, which it already snapped. This one can definitely go, it is not alive anymore. And roots which are very fleshy and maybe even have a growing tip, these are definitely good roots and I want them on my orchid. And then I have the so and so roots, such as this one, which is not completely dried yet, but I know it's on its way out. It doesn't look so good anymore, and part of it is already dried. So I will remove all of these roots, even the ones that are not completely gone, because I know they will be, and all they will do is just wither away in the medium and spoil it. So I'm gonna go and remove all of these roots, which are not good anymore. Now here is a step that I completely forgot. We need to attach the pot to the tray, and how I do this is by using hot glue. Hot glue is not permanent, and especially from very smooth surfaces, it can actually be removed quite easily. So I'll put a few drops here and there of hot glue and then place it on the tray, and hey presto, it's already glued. Alrighty, so now for the repotting part. As always, I will be placing a layer of sphagnum moss on the bottom because even with the Vandas, I want the setup to work in the same way it works with my other orchids. And if you missed the video in which I show you exactly how it works, check it in an info card on the screen or down below in the description and you'll see exactly what I mean. I need the sphagnum moss layer at the bottom to absorb all of the water that is left in the tray. If I would go with bark as a bottom layer, things would not work out. And now I will be arranging the Vanda roots inside. This is quite tricky because Vandas typically have a lot of roots, but a trick is to just rotate a little bit the pot. And in this way, they will arrange themselves much better inside. And hey presto, there we have it, my Vanda fits in the pot. Now it's okay if a few roots are outside of the pot. For example, this one, it's a little too thick and too awkward to place in the pot, and it's perfectly fine. I don't need all of the roots to be in the pot. If most of them are inside, I'm happy. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and place medium around the Vanda roots as I usually do, making sure that the mix consists more of bark than of sphagnum moss. I will continue to add sphagnum moss layers as well, in such a manner that they are actually connected with the bottom layer, because I want the sphagnum moss to communicate and spread the water evenly through the pot. I don't want this pot to retain a lot of water, but I do want it to be even, and moss will make sure this happens. With bark, you will always have layering because bark is not wicking, it's not water retentive. Its sole purpose here is to make sure that we have air pockets, and it actually does support the sphagnum moss. And there we go, I am all finished. Now, from time to time I do get a comment saying this will not work because the medium will be so moist that the roots will not make it. And well, that's not necessarily correct, especially if you know how to mix your medium. The answer to the question how not to completely wet your medium is quite simple, but maybe not very obvious. Don't wet the medium. It's as easy as that, and I shall demonstrate. When we water orchids, we don't necessarily need to soak them, run water through the pot for 5 minutes, or any of these types of rules. We need to water as much as we should water. And in this case, I don't want this pot to be soggy and bathing in water all the time, so I'm just not gonna add all that much water. I'm gonna do this, and then a little bit in the back. And that's it. That's all the water this orchid needs. Because what's happening now is this water is evenly dispersed through the medium by the sphagnum moss. Remember, it is very wicking, and I made sure that it is connected. So the quantity of water that I just poured did not wet all of this medium. It didn't make it soggy. Because I have the moss there, it will just spread, and in the end the medium will just be damp. which is what I want with this orchid. Now in the summertime, things are way different. I want this orchid to be soggy because in 24 hours, the pot is completely dry in my summer temperatures. But in winter, I don't need to do that. All I need is just to provide a little bit of water, and that is enough. And the last step is, of course, to add a hook. I specifically leave this for last because the hooks that I have 4 legs, if I can find one. Alright, so the hangers that I have 4 legs, and I want to arrange them depending on how the orchid is arranged in the pot. In this example, I want 2 of the legs in the front on each side of the fan and 2 in the back. I don't want them positioned like so. So now I'm going to make some tiny holes towards the rim of the pot, put the hanger in, and we're done. And now the Vanda is potted. This wire will straighten as it hangs, as you can see. So all that's left to do is for me to put it in an adequate location where it receives bright light. Before that, let's talk a little bit about the roots. As you know, roots of orchids can actually adapt to the medium they grow in. They can adapt to a lot of air or quite a lot of moisture. I will be having a seminar at some point really soon, hopefully, about this. And you might wonder, how will these roots adapt to this medium when they were grown bare-rooted up until this point? Well, simple, by offering a lot of aeration. If you put bark on the root system of an orchid, it will pretty much be like it's not there, if it's not always completely sogged and with the air pockets filled with water. So as long as I maintain things very airy and rather damp than super soggy, clogged, then everything should be okay. Roots don't actually adapt to bark, and then they will never be able to adapt to charcoal. They don't adapt to the material, they adapt to the conditions. And in my experience, moisture and humidity and the ratio between water and air is what they're actually adapting to. Obviously, if I would pot this orchid in a full pot of sphagnum moss, pressed in there and soggy all of the time, yes, the quantity of air available will drastically change and the roots might start to not like it and die off. In this setup though, chances are very slim that this will happen because you saw how I water and you saw how much bark I have in here and how little sphagnum moss. So in the end, I don't want to cut the oxygen levels for this orchid. I just want to offer moisture without me putting it there. So the medium will do that for me. And here she is next to my other Vandas, which are happily bathing in the sun at this moment. The weather is very rainy lately, but from time to time we do get a break in the clouds, which I think will go away in a second. What to do? So that's how I go about potting Vandas. And in the end, the major factor I keep into account is that ratio between water and air. Everything else does not matter. The material does not matter. If it's orchid safe, it's orchid safe. It's good. It can be clay, it can be plastic, it can be whatever you can think of. And I'm super happy I finally decided to pot all of my Vandas because I have quite a lot of Vandas. I love them and they were starting to suffer from dehydration, and that's not cool. Now everybody looks way, way happier. And P.S., if you just notice this little Christmas tree here on the side, well, I have a tutorial for it. I show you how I actually did it on a budget. Check it down below. It's on my second channel, which is called MissOrchidGirl. Are we surprised? So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you found this useful, and I hope I gave you some tips if you were thinking to pot your Vandas. And with that said, you know the drill. Like or dislike this video below. Subscribe for more orchid videos, tutorials, experiments, and other fun orchid subjects. And if you wish to support the channel, do consider visiting the merch store down below. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!